Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on another beautiful day in the library. Welcome back to Book Club to Kill a Mockingbird, Chapter 5. Oh, this book, it's too much. Where have you been my whole life? I love this. I got to talk about it. I've been talking to everybody about this book now, and so many people read this in school, but now they're telling me this is being banned from schools. I'm all, that's horrible. Why? But I think I'm seeing why. They dropped the N-word like 3 times, and I don't know if that's why, but I could imagine that could be something, you know. Oh my gosh. You know, I was thinking it was probably maybe like a Family Guy or South Park, one of those funny cartoons. I can't remember which one. And it was Huckleberry Finn, and he's going down the river with Jim, and Huckleberry Finn calls him N-word Jim, and then Jim's all, just Jim is fine. You know, I thought that was so funny. And that's kind of how it is back when this was written. It was more common, not right, but it wasn't offensive. I can remember even growing up in the 70s, you heard that word a lot, you know, but a change started to take place. I was bused from my predominantly white neighborhood to the black part of town, and then the black kids were bussed into the white part of town. They called it busing, and it worked. I made some beautiful black friends. As a matter of fact, I still remember John, one of my best friends that year in school, you know, that I would have never met. And it does change your heart. You know, you see people are people. And, but how sad, you know, wouldn't it be easy just to go in and just take that out? You know, just like with Huckleberry Finn, just write Jim, take out the N-word, and not ban the books. You know, maybe they can't do that. I don't know. But so sad. This is such a beautiful book. I love the character. Scout has just got my heart, the way she talks. Okay, so, did I mention, got off on a tangent. Now I can't remember what I've been talking about, but I told you my girlfriend in high school gave me this book to read, but I didn't read it. And I was thinking, what was she trying to tell me? Oh my God, I found it in chapter 5. I can even think back, which is amazing to me at my age and where my brain's at. I can think back to the conversation we're having, the words she used when she gave me this book. My friend, which is funny because like I'll walk upstairs and forget where I was going. Why? What was I going upstairs for? What was I going to get? And I run through this list in my mind, and I go back downstairs, and then I remember, I'm like, damn it, I got to go back upstairs again. But I remembered this so clearly, and so I'll share that with you when we get to it. Oh, so the kids are still worried about, because Atticus said they can't play that game, Boo Radley. So Jim's got it all figured out. If they get caught, you know, they'll just simply change the names of the character, and then they can't be accused of playing anything. And of course, Dill heartedly agrees with him. Now, this is funny. This is so cute. Dill was becoming something of a trial anyway, following Jem about. So Jem and Dill are getting closer and kind of pushing out Scout, the girl. And he had asked me earlier in the summer to marry him. Then he promptly forgot about it. He staked me out, marked his property, said I was the only girl he would ever love. Then he neglected me. I beat him up twice, and it didn't do any good. Oh, I love her. It's like she's like this mature woman, but a child. You know, she's 6 years old. It cracks me up. So now she's kind of pushed out of the little group, and so she's hanging out more with Miss Maudie. We're getting to know another character in the neighborhood. One evening she asked Miss Maudie, do you think Boo Bradley's still alive? She said, his name is Arthur, and he is still alive. How do you know that? Because I haven't seen him drag him out yet. She says, Arthur Radley just stays in the house, that's all. Wouldn't you stay in the house if you didn't want to come out? Yes'm, but I'd want to come out. Why doesn't he? Miss Maudie's eyes narrowed. You know that story as well as I do. And now this is funny. She almost explains it like it makes me think of when Scout was trying to explain to the teacher about the boy that had no lunch. She just said, what was his name? A Cunningham or something? He's a Cunningham. And then sat down like that should be enough. Miss Maudie kind of does that here. She goes, no one ever, so Scott says, no one ever told me why. And Miss Maudie says, old Mr. Radley was a foot washing Baptist. Like that just sums it all up. So now Scout's trying to get more out. Go on. Foot washers believe anything that's pleasure is a sin. Do you know some of them come out of the woods one Saturday and passed by this place and told me that me and my flowers were going to hell? Your flowers too? They thought I spent too much time in God's outdoors and not enough time inside reading my Bible. Oh my gosh. And then I wrote here, I always like to write fuckers. That's how I was feeling. So I write it. Let's see. So now Scout says her confidence in the pulpit teachings are starting to sway because of them threatening Miss Maudie, who she thinks is pretty wonderful, threatening her with her Protestant hell. Miss Maudie goes on to say that they take the Bible literally, That's when I had that recollection. Well, maybe not sure that, but my girlfriend at the time, when she gave me this book, that's the word she used. She said that I take the Bible literally. She was calling me a foot washing Baptist, which I guess I was at the time, which is funny. Oh my gosh. I was one of those people. I carried a Bible to school, right? I was a fanatic. I was annoying. I was raised that way, I'll save that story for the end of this. So those of you that could care less, because this story's, it doesn't need to be broken up with my life history, but I had to share that with you, that was what my girlfriend was talking about. I was taken to that exact place, that exact conversation, my friends. Oh, so funny. Time is a trip, isn't it? Let's see. Sometimes the Bible in the hand of one man is worse than a whiskey bottle in the hands of, say, your father. And now Scout saying, my dad don't drink whiskey. Now Miss Maudie knows her dad, and he goes, well, he did once, but he didn't like it. But that's not what she was saying. She was saying, what I meant, if Atticus Finch drank until he was drunk, he wouldn't be as hard as some men at their best. Did I read that? If Atticus Finch drank until he was drunk, he wouldn't be as hard as some men at their best. So what she's saying is, even if Atticus, her father, which is a good man, got wasted drunk, he wouldn't be evil, right? Where some people are just evil, like their true nature comes out when they drink. That's even in Zoroastrian text, that drink can bring out what's inside of you, because your kind of filters, your walls go down and kind of shows what you've been hiding, which she talks about more about behind closed doors in this chapter, which I thought was pretty cool. And so Scout was talking about how her dad is the same behind closed doors as he is out in public. And I thought that's beautiful. Where a lot of these Bible thumpers aren't like that. And they're kind of talking about Stephanie Crawford here. She's a foot washing Baptist, that kind of judge everybody and not very nice people. And I think back when I was younger, I wasn't a nice person. I meant well, but yeah, that's why she gave me this book. Oh, she goes on to talk about, she remembered I wish I could speak today, guys. I hope I'm not ruining this for you with my inability to make words. I remember Arthur Radley when he was a boy. He always spoke nicely to me, no matter what folks said he did. Spoke nicely as he knew. So we're kind of getting a little look at Boo Radley here, Arthur. He was a nice kid, just raised a certain way, and then it comes that part where it's talking about Atticus don't ever do nothing to Jem and me in the house that he don't do in the yard. Sticking up for her daddy. I like that. I love the relationship between those three. Okay, so now Jim and Dill cooking up a plan. It's it's the end of summer, and so they're gonna cook up this one big last adventure, and they're gonna do it now because if they die, it's okay. Because like if they done it at the beginning of summer and died, they would have missed summer vacation. Now it's the end of summer vacation. If they die, they'll just miss the school year. I love their childlike thinking. They're gonna put a note to ask Boo Radley to come out. They're gonna get a fishing pole and like set it up on through the shutters and try to get it to him and get him to come out. And they have a plan. They have a lookout. Dill has a bell that if he sees Atticus or anyone coming, he'll ring the bell, and that'll alert them that they can, abort the mission. I guess Dill's not paying great attention because next thing they know, Scout hears the bell ringing, but Dill's ringing the bell with all his might right in Atticus's face. Can you picture it? And then Jim looks so awful. I didn't have the heart to tell him, I told you so. He trudged along, dragging the pole behind him on the sidewalk. And then Atticus stops and says, stop ringing that bell. So Dill's so freaked out. They're already caught. They're already walking back. And he's still ringing the bell, just freaked out. Oh, Sonny said to Jim, I'm going to tell you something and tell you one time, stop tormenting that man. And that goes for you other two also. He says what Mr. Radley did was his own business. If he wanted to come out, he would. If he wanted to stay inside his own house, he had the right to stay inside, free from the attentions of inquisitive children. Here comes Scout's wit, which was a mild term for the likes of us. Oh, I love her. Jim goes on to say, we weren't making fun of him. We weren't laughing at him, said Jim. We were just... So that's what you were doing, wasn't it? Making fun of him. No, said Atticus, putting his life history on display for the edification of the neighborhood. Jim finally realized that he had been done in by the oldest lawyer trick on record. He wasn't up to arguing with his dad, the professional lawyer. And I see where Scout gets her witty banter and wording from, definitely from Atticus. So that takes us to chapter 6. I was going to go on about some of my back history. Do I even need to? I don't know. I guess I will, since it goes along with this. So I was... what Scout would call foot washing Baptist, very judgmental, very angry, very Old Testament, and it got kind of just beat out of me. I think Good Spirit had more for me. I took the Bible everywhere. I took it to school, took it when I went into the Army, took it when I went to that crazy cult in Texas. Yes, I was in a crazy cult in Texas. So I got thrown out of high school because I was a foot washing Baptist. I was just obnoxious, guys. And so they actually kicked me out of school. And there's people doing a lot, what I thought at the time, a lot worse stuff than being a Bible thumper at school. I mean, they got caught doing some crazy stuff and I got clean thrown out. So I got sent to this, it was supposed to be how it was presented by the place as like ministry training. When I got there, it was ex-bikers. The guy that ran it, Ron DePriest, was ex-Hells Angels, which I guess you're not allowed to be an ex-Hells Angels. And so they would actually come, I guess from what he told me, to his ranch and try to take him out and stuff. There was other biker clubs that were there, but they had got what they call saved in prison. And so they started a ranch, right? Great money-making scheme. And what they were doing is they would take kids out there, and it was a work camp. They would have us, work through the day, through the night. And then, of course, they kept all the money and everything. But they were teaching us the Bible. That was our reward. I got poisoned. I just abused. It was horrible. It's like you see on an A&E special. just horrible. But they call it God, they call it the Bible. You think that would have turned me off from it. It did not. When I left there, I went into the army, took my Bible with me because I wanted to fight for God and country. That was a disappointment. Oh my gosh. So just torture. So I went from a cult to the army. Then when I got out, I went to Bible college, right? Because I had it in my head since I was a kid, I was going to be a preacher. And, oh gosh, guys, it didn't get better. It didn't get better. And it's almost like God had too much love for me to let me get stuck in that lie of a religion, those Abrahamic religions. And so my life couldn't be blessed while I was in that. And I mean, it's resonance, right? If you have a God in you, that frequency, that energy, that's not good, your life's not going to be good. You're always going to be angry. You're always going to be just judgmental. Things aren't going to be right. And so good spirit, even when I was off in that religion, still loving me, still guiding me. The sad thing is though, and I think this is what happened to most people, my life had to crumble completely, had to lose everything till you don't give a fucking shit anymore about anything. That's where I needed to get. And it was beautiful. That was finally when God could reach me and give me the message, son, I am just good. I don't get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children. That is not who I am. I am just good. God means good. Just good. Right? And when I had that realization, and I had some help from a professor, I mean, what are the odds? Which I'll call my neighbor, even though he's a mile away, because I live in the woods here. He's a religious professor at our local college. He's feeding me books, fed me Zoroastrian books, the original monotheistic religion where God was just good. Started down that trail, studied all the religions, Hinduism, Islam, Taoism, everything. But Zoroastrianism is just what clicked. That's what resonated in my heart. Because I've already tried different, because the Abrahamic religion is very similar to most of the world religions. The gods just kind of reflect men because men made it. And so they need to make one that's beneficial to them. Like if they need to keep you under control with their fear, if they need you to go in and kill men, women, and children, war, bring back the spoils, you're doing it for God and country, and so those other religions didn't resonate with me. And with all of them, you can pick good out, but they tell you have to take it all. You can't just pick and choose, right? You have to take the whole Bible as truth. My pastor taught me, or you have to throw it all out. Not true. There's good stuff in the Bible. There's good stuff in all the different religions. You can take the good, eat the meat, spit out the bones. So Zoroastrianism came into my life, the all good spirit. And it's been good. It's been peaceful. It's been joyful. It makes sense finally, right? The world makes sense. My life makes sense. Who I am makes sense. Who God is makes sense. Life has just gotten better. And if any of you are struggling, because you guys like to share the things you're going through, I'll tell you a couple things that helped. One, getting into my 40s, about mid-40s, life gets better. At least for me, it did. It's just, I don't know what it is. And if some of you guys that are older, maybe, did you experience this? It's like when I hit 45, something just clicked and the life got better, I will tell you, when I did lose everything, I heard a voice so clear in my head, guys. I was in San Clemente, California at a gas station, getting on the freeway to go to Bible college. And, I remember hearing so clearly, like someone was talking in my ear, that I was going to lose everything, but to hold on to one thing, Jesus. And I think this is important. And I love that Jesus goes along with Magi and the Zoroastrianism, because that's something I heard and I did hold on to. And shortly after I heard that, I lost my beautiful home on the ocean, my nice cars, my wife, only got to see my kids on the weekend. The guy that I thought was my friend was sleeping with my wife. I dropped out of Bible college. I gave up on religion. I was done with everything. Fuck everything. And it's kind of it's sad. I feel sorry for myself and others that have to go through it. You don't have to go through it that way. If somehow we could just unbrainwash ourselves, which you can, I hope I do that with my message of Asha by presenting you the truth. I didn't have anyone to present me this truth of Asha, of the all good spirit, of the original religion. And if I heard it then, would I even have been able to accept it? I don't know. I might have just pushed it away because that's what I was told to do, right? You can't apostatize from your faith, right? And so maybe I did have to crash and lose everything, but I did hold on to Jesus. Jesus is good. He's been a good guide and a good friend to me and goes along perfectly with the Magi. And so life has been good for me, and I've been trying hard to share this message with others. It's not easy. Not everyone's just jumping up and down to receive it and accept it, even though I feel in their heart, if they'll let themselves hear the whole thing, I think they know there's got to be something to what I'm saying, but maybe too much fear, because those Abrahamic religions, rule number one, fear the Lord, right? And they got plenty of stories to back up why you probably should. And then all the religions, you can't apostatize, right? God will get you. There's hell. And if God don't get you, they'll get you. Maybe God's busy, but they got plenty of time to beat the shit out of you and kill you, So there are a lot of things, I think that's why most people are just done with religion. But to me, religion is just a belief. And we all have a belief of what we think this life is, what we think happens when we die. It is a religion. Science is a religion. Everything is what we believe, and belief is religion. So you're always going to have something. So might as well pick a good one. And we all think this, but I think I found the true one. How do I know that? It just resonates in my heart. The others never did. I felt I always have to stick up for the religion, right? Make excuses for the religion. Well, God had to do that, or, and it shouldn't be that way, right? Kids shouldn't have to stick up for their parents, behaviors, let the behaviors speak for themselves. If you go in and kill men, women, and children and take sex slaves, I shouldn't have to stick up for that. Let's just call fucked up, and story after story after story that I'm sure you've read too, or maybe they were hid from you. It breaks my heart because I love Jesus so much. And so I think of people like Kat Von D. Did you see this? She's born again now. And I've seen a lot of stars. They're coming up because they're so disillusioned with Hollywood and LA and the world and what's going on. And so they're thinking, like Kat Von D said, maybe we got it wrong. So she went to Christianity. I'm so happy she'll find Jesus. So sad she'll find Christianity. She's going to be so disheartened, disillusioned. It breaks my heart. And will she actually be able to hold on to Jesus? Like I told you, when I crashed, lost everything, most people would just throw it all out. But I heard that voice. Thank God for that. Hold on to Jesus. Let all the rest go. Hold on to Jesus. I hope Kat Von D and these other people, when they see behind the curtain like I did, saw behind the ministries, saw behind what happened behind closed doors. Kind of like I was talking about in chapter 5. They're different behind closed doors than what they are in the world. I hope when they get to that realization that they're able to hold on to the good and make it, Oh, what a world. It can be a good world. Life is truly as a gift. The true world, the real world is good. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. Sun shining, birds singing, walks with the dogs, waterfalls, butterflies, happiness. It's there. Books. I'm looking at my books right now. I love them. There's beautiful things. Life can be beautiful. It doesn't have to be hard. We make it hard. We give our power away to people because we might be hurting, and we trust people. They have the answer for us. Come to our seminar, read our Bible, join our cult. We got the answers. And they take advantage of you. I mean, you see it. They take advantage of you. They take your money, maybe sexually abused, mentally abused. It's just, so sad. It doesn't have to be that way. There's a temple inside of you. There's a God inside of you. That God you're looking for outside of yourself, wanting someone just to hand you the answer. Maybe you think it'll be easier. Just give it to me. Just go inside. It's right there. You know what it is. God is just good. Align with that. Be love. Be kind. Be peace. Be joy. Be good. You know what it is. Just be there. Hold that frequency. It becomes you. You become one with that good, that love, that peace, and your world reflects it. It's really that simple, my friends. All right. You wouldn't think in a million years we're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, chapter 5, 26 minutes into it. Anyone still with me? Be a lamb. Go to the comments, let me know. I always like to know if I'm talking to an empty camera or not. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. I love you.